Hello peeps, it's the Hillbilly Halfwit. How are you all today? Gazza's in a good mood today. Gazza's in a fantastic mood because we're winning the battle. We are winning the battle. Powys County Council are seeing what's going on. I don't know if they've seen my rant video or not. They're backtracking on the green agenda and lots of MSs are resigning before the next election. They can see what's coming. They're jumping ship. We are winning this battle. I am really happy today. This is the first sign that the ship is sinking. The Welsh Labour ship has been holed and she's sinking up to the gunnels. And the people are taking back control of things. So let's get going. And please subscribe down there because you have really been fantastic these last few days by subscribing and helping me out to get the message out there. Share this stuff out there. We've holed them in the ship. Let's sink the ship. The content in this video is intended for comedic purposes only. The views expressed in this video are not to be taken as factual information or representation of my personal beliefs. I am critically reviewing the info and videos I show as examples. Right, people, this is another scandal again. I don't know enough about this. We'll have to do a video on it, but there was just something I found on Facebook last night. There's something about this hotel that's been paid for by the Welsh Government. It's all gone bankrupt, leaving us with a huge debt, even though the people have sold it. So I'll just read this out. The hotel paid for by the Welsh Government was apparently 14 million in debt. Question remains how the Welsh Government remain with a charge over the property, even though it's just been sold for an undisclosed sum. We paid for it. How can it be sold? And we don't know how much for. The staggering amount of debt for the previous owners of the site. So how much debt owners of the Colony Hotel left is going into administration. So it sounds like they've just buggered off, left the debt, sold the property, and we've got to pay the debt. That's what it sounds like. It's all allegedly. I don't know much about this, but it's a shit show as usual. Now then. People say to me sometimes that my channel doesn't do a lot. And I am convinced it does. I'm convinced this gets the word out there. Because I remember I went to a meeting last year, a Commons meeting, and everybody was firing the information I'd been putting out on my videos back at these people from the National Trust. And they didn't know how to answer it because it was all true. And I'm still convinced to this day that you lovely people that are sharing this stuff, get this info out there, the people get it into their heads and they know the truth then and they're not blinded by this nonsense. So this is from Powys County Council. It is clear that changes have been needed. Council to look again at plans to be net zero by 2030 after concerns raised. I wonder if that concern was my ranted video the other day. I'm going to read all this out because it needs to be read. At a cabinet meeting today, Tuesday, councillors met to discuss the annual update to the Corporate and Strategic Equality Plan, also known as Stronger, Fairer, Greener, which looks at the ambition of current administration up to 2027. To meet Welsh Government legal deadlines, the latest version has to be published by April the 1st. April the 1st. Yeah, that's no joke. A meeting of all the council's scrutiny committees and finance panel. That's the biggest joke. Scrutiny committees of the finances. I don't think one exists. Held in confidential session had probed the draft document and produced 16 recommendations for Cabinet to take on board before they approve the plan. The plan is just to spaff millions up the wall and pretend you're doing something. This included a recommendation that the net zero time load needed to be reassessed as a priority. Cabinet member for Greener Powys, Councillor Jackie Charlton, she was a good footballer, said over the last 2 years we have looked at how we could address the climate emergency and how we can deliver it ourselves. She explained that the council's impact on the environment runs through all of its work as a golden thread. The golden thread of shite. Councillor Charlton said, "It is clear that changes have been needed and this is slowly being implemented. I agree with the scrutiny recommendation that the timeline in achieving net zero needs to be reassessed." We have been working over the last couple of months at ways to address that and look at ways we can reassess or support what we believed is a challenging target by 2030. We have to have a considered debate on what we need to do and the way forward. Cabinet agreed the draft report, which is set to be published on the Council's website on April the 1st. In the drive to tackle climate change, the Welsh Government has put local authorities in the 2030 net zero vanguard. Everyone else would be expected to be carbon neutral by 2050. The hope is that the example from councils all across Wales will rub off on everyone else. Listen to this now, though. This is Powys County Council on its own. Last summer, it was revealed that the council would need to spend £447 million to achieve net zero requirements and reduce the council's carbon footprint by 2030. Now, being as though I know what I'm talking about here, the total budget in Wales as a whole for farming subsidies and agriculture is 330 million. So Powys County Council is spending way more, is spending 110 million more than the total Welsh agricultural budget to get net zero. This shows you how much money these fuckers are spaffing up the wall. When asked why the plans were scrutinised in private session, a council spokesman said the scrutiny of the plan was undertaken through a virtual exercise, which was a method raised by Audit Wales in their recommendation in 2018 and 2021 to allow reports to be scrutinised within appropriate timescale. No, they're basically censoring it so we don't know what's going on. So Powys County Council are spending 447 million on net zero. This is fucking staggering. So we'll just on that now. That's brilliant. Powys County Council have realised, and Welsh have realised, they're in the sinking ship and it's sinking fast. And people like me are spreading the information about how much they're spaffing up the wall. More than the agricultural budget, Powys is spaffing up the wall on net zero. So they're going down. And here's another thing to cheer you up. Oh, more than a quarter of the Labour MSs to stand down in the next election. Drakey boy is off to his garden to dig some holes. Good riddance to the twat. That's all I can say. He has destroyed Wales with his commie attitude. And I hope when he's in his garden, all the plants die as he walks past. Because that's the kind of guy he is. He's one of them people that just hate others with different opinions. He's a communist. That's all they do. They only want to help their side and get their dregs up to the top to get more money. Scavers. Now there's more than this. More than a quarter of Labour Senedd members have now said they will not seek re-election again in 2026. They're running scared. They know they're in the shit. The party had 30 Senedd members elected to the Welsh Parliament in 2021, but now 8, including 2 former ministers, have said they will not seek re-election. And a number of current or former ministers also said they will not seek re-election. Mark Drakeford, Vaughan Gethin will not seek re-election, and nor will current Economic Minister, Economy Minister Rebecca Evans or Deputy Minister for Social Care Dawn Bowden, former Deputy Minister Lee Waters and Julie Morgan, and former Council General Mick Antwi will not stand either. The next election will be an election unlike any other in Wales. The number of elected representatives is going up from 60 to 96, while the constituencies and voting system are both changing. Polls are currently projecting no party with an overall majority, but there is projected to be a sizable number of MSs from New Party of Reform UK. Parties are working behind the scenes on filling the slots available to them in each of the 16 constituencies. I'm sure Labour's working behind the scenes to try and nobble the vote. They'll be asking kids to vote next from 5 up. Politicians from across all parties have gradually announced their positions in local. In total, each party can field a total of 128 candidates across Wales. Many are expecting to finalise names once the final constituency boundaries are confirmed in March. So far, the two first ministers have finished it. The two former first ministers have declared they will not stand again, as have two who have been or are government ministers. Basically, the same old wankers have decided they've had enough. Well, they shouldn't be decided. We should have chucked them out originally, and they shouldn't have been allowed back in. So, Elliot Morgan is going. Good riddance. Vaughan Gethin, good riddance, you bloody crook. Here he is, the bloody crook. What a crook. They're all crooks. Former Transport Minister Lee Waters, he's going. He's the guy that I was telling you was big in the civil service, in a think tank, as deciding all these policies. He was at the heart of this 20-mile-an-hour thing. Active travel he's in. Sustrans, he was head of Sustrans. He'll walk into another job. He was head of the BBC in Wales. He's a real, Dawn Bowden, she's going. Oh, this has made me happy. Mick Antwi, Rebecca Evans, all of them, they're too scared to face the public when they know they might lose. That's what's going on. We all know what's going on. So I am happy today. Wales is in a good spot at the moment because these people are shitting it. They realise that there's a wave coming that's going to sink this boat. We've had enough. And you watch now, they're going to try and arse lick all us now in the next 12 months, 2 years, try and change their policy to show that they're doing great for us. They ain't. They still need to get elected. We need that big bow wave to take that ship down under. So Gaza's happy today. Thank you for watching and subscribing. It means there is so much to me. We are getting this message out there. So please subscribe down there and share this stuff. All the best, Gaz.